Travis was a young man who was in his late 20s. He was an independent man and was very wealthy. He was in love with a beautiful lady named Ifunanya. Ifunanya was a very attractive lady who was in her early 20s, and Travis got caught by her beauty and fell in love with her. Travis had a very close friend who was like a brother to him. His name was Kim. One day, Travis visited Kim to tell him about his new love, but Kim didn't find it appealing. He didn't agree to it. Be careful of her. That girl could be dangerous, he advised Travis, who only sat confused. He wanted to know why Kim didn't give him his approval, but Kim only kept telling him to be careful and that he should stay away. Then Travis concluded that Kim only wanted him to remain single like he was. One day, Ifunanya visited Travis and Travis welcomed her wholeheartedly. He loved her, but all she kept doing was demanding. She told him about her rent, which was due, so he said he'd sort out something for her, and she was happy. That day, they played like two besties, and Travis loved Ifunanya even more. At evening, she left, and immediately, Kim walked in. He saw Ifunanya leaving the house and gave her a displeasing look, which she ignored and left. When Kim went in, he saw Travis smiling, and when he asked him why he was laughing, Travis told him he had a lot of fun with Ifunanya. He told him how much he loved Ifunanya, but Kim only kept advising him to be careful. He told Travis of a time he saw Ifunanya with some guy in a restaurant. Then he told Travis to cut the relationship, but Travis got upset and walked to his room, leaving Kim behind in the living room. The next day, Kim went out to Travis, who decided to buy a new house. When he bought the house, he loved it because it was big and beautiful. Kim also loved the house, and when he asked Travis who he got it for, he got a response that the house belonged to Ifunanya. Her rent is due, so I got her this, he said, trying to avoid Kim's interjection. Then he called Ifunanya to come see the surprise he got her. And some minutes later, she got there. He gave her a key and showed her the house, and she was excited. She hugged him and thanked him non-stop, and he felt happy. And Kim only observed the moment quietly, and a few minutes later, he left with Travis. After 2 weeks, Kim visited Travis to tell him about his plans towards his company, and after some time, he mentioned Ifunanya and described how he saw her on his way to Travis' house. I don't trust that lady, he concluded, but Travis didn't pay attention, telling him he needs a valid reason. Then he told Kim to stop mentioning her name to him, and Kim submitted. That evening, Ifunanya visited Travis after Kim had already left. She was dressed all beautiful, and Travis admired her. That day, they spent some time together, talking about a lot of things. They talked about themselves and how they wanted a future together. And just while they were chatting, Travis got a call from his company. And when he was done with the call, he rushed to his room, telling Ifunanya that something came up which was urgent, so he needed to attend to it. Then he left, leaving Ifunanya, who told him she was going to wait till he returns. But a few minutes after he left, she walked to his room and searched for money. She searched, and after some time, she finally found a briefcase that contained millions of naira, and another briefcase that contained millions of dollars. So she gladly ran away with both. And when she arrived at her home, she hid them somewhere in her store. At night, Travis returned home but didn't pay attention to how his room was unkept due to how exhausted he felt, so he slept off. The next morning, when he got up from bed, he was shocked to see how haphazard his room looked. He was flustered and didn't know what to do. So he called Kim immediately, and after some time, Kim got there. Travis, who didn't know what to do, asked him what could have happened, but Kim told him he was probably being robbed. Then Travis quickly searched for his briefcases, but he didn't find them. Who could have done this? He asked himself, confused. Then he sat on his bed and began to think of what he could do with his life. At that point, he felt he was the most confused man in the whole earth. He was about crying when Kim tried calming him, telling him it could be Ifunanya. And without letting Travis say another word, he asked Travis how he left his house the previous day. So Travis explained how he left and returned. That girl's a thief. I'm sure she took it, Kim concluded, after giving Travis reasons why he was sure she did. But Travis didn't say much. He wondered how she could have betrayed him that much. He felt disappointed and hurt, but still had a little doubt. An hour later, they came up with a plan on how to get into Ifunanya's home and find out the truth. So Kim, who was more convinced it was Ifunanya, came up with a plan, which they put into action. By noon, they drove to Ifunanya's vicinity and hid somewhere in the car. And Travis called Ifunanya and told her to meet him somewhere far from where she stays. He sent her an address, and after some time, she came out of the house, took a cab and left. When they were sure she had gone far, they drove to the house, opened it with her spare keys which Travis had, and they went in to search the house. They searched, and after an hour plus, they found nothing. And Travis felt disappointed and troubled. Then he suggested they leave, after confirming that Ifunanya was innocent all the while. And just as they were about to leave, Kim walked into the store and kept searching, but Travis left him and went to his car. After a few minutes, Kim walked to where Travis was parked at, with two briefcases with him. When Travis saw the briefcases, he was shocked. He quickly took it to the car and opened it. Then he confirmed that it was his. He was surprised and couldn't believe his sight. He couldn't believe that the only woman he loved and cherished stabbed him at the back. But he didn't have much to say, so he drove off with Kim, smiling by his side after locking her doors. That evening, he received a call from Ifunanya, who was angry at the fact that he didn't show up eventually. But Travis didn't say a word, then he hung up. The next morning, Travis and Kim drove to her house, and when they got in, he saw her dining with a strange man. Then she got shocked and asked him why he didn't inform her he was coming. But he didn't say anything. He only told her she had less than 2 minutes to leave the house with her luggages. Ifunanya got confused and wondered why he was so serious. So he explained everything to her and poured his emotions to her. He explained how hurt he was after getting such hard betrayal. Then he asked her to leave immediately after threatening to call the police. So immediately, she did as she was told. And 40 minutes later, she left after trying to convince Travis to have her back. A year and 6 months later, Travis got married to a lovely and beautiful woman named Amara. She loved him dearly and took care of him, and Travis lived joyfully.
Every storm, my guiding light. In your eyes I see the stars.